hard knock life.
So Leonard, tell us about your school.
Yeah, alright, so I went to a co-ed private school up in Hornsby. There was an admission test, which wasn't really that hard. Scholarships were available. There were fees required because it was a private school. Average ATAR was probably sitting around 85, and I'd say most people at my school went to uni. They really helped, like, you know, encourage us to go to uni. At uni, like, lots of my friends at uni have come from my school, and yeah, at my school there wasn't really too much diversity because it was just like a typical private school, and uni is just, you know, completely different compared to that.
Thanks. Alright, April, where did you go to school and tell us about it?
I went to Gosford High School, which is a public co-ed, like academically selective school on the Central Coast, and yeah, there was an admissions test for that, but yeah, it wasn't like super stringent. There were no fees because it was public, and no scholarships because of that. The median ATAR, well, it's kind of all over the place. I think probably about 80, but like some people had a lot lower than that, some people had like very high. So there's a few people who got like 99.95 because they're nerds. In terms of the school like helping us to get to uni, I guess the whole narrative was like the Central Coast is a fairly working class area, so for most students it's kind of, and most of the schools are extremely underfunded, so most of the thing is just like, oh, you'll just get a trade someday or whatever, which is fine, but like basically like lowering people's expectations about what they can achieve after school. But because we were like the selective one, they were like made a big thing about leadership and like everyone going to uni and stuff, so that was kind of a thing. It was like a way to like be like, oh, you're not like all the other schools, like we're the ones that are going to move up. So in terms of how it's affected my uni life, well, it was on the Central Coast, so I had to move down to Sydney, so I live away from family and stuff. And Sydney is definitely much more diverse than the Central Coast generally, and so obviously the school was far less diverse than the uni and stuff. So yeah, it's way more diverse here, culturally, you know, people's lifestyles, all that kind of stuff, so yeah, it's better here.
And Em, tell us about your school.
Okay, so I went to a small all-girls Catholic school in Cairns in Queensland. There wasn't an admissions test, but there was fees and scholarships, mainly Indigenous scholarships, no academic ones or anything like that. The average ATAR probably would have been around 80, and about maybe 2/3 of students went on to uni. It was a quite small school and it was private, so they encouraged us to go to uni and gave us a lot of help like that with careers advisors and all different sorts of things. It was kind of a high Aboriginal population, but other than that it wasn't like very diverse, so Sydney itself and uni is a lot more diverse than that. So, do you want to talk? Your turn.
Okay, so I went to a co-educational private Anglican boarding school in Victoria. There was no admissions test, but for a scholarship there was. So there were scholarships available and fees required. The median ATAR was 89%, and about 95% of people who didn't take gap years have gone on to uni, and then the rest will probably go on to uni later. The school had a careers advisor available every day of the school year on campus, as well as like uni visits to the school, so they made it pretty easy to decide what you wanted to do, and it allowed me to know what I wanted to do a lot more easily, because I could talk to careers advisors and stuff all the time at school. And there actually was quite a lot of diversity. It was probably about 5% Aboriginal, Indigenous people at school, and they were pretty much all on scholarships, and then quite a lot of cultural diversity, which is similar to uni.
Cool. The end.